by Giant FM, and it's time for the First Federal Saving Program, available on the First Federal Saving Bank Facebook page and on RTC Channel 5. Now let's go across the console to Mr. Dick Belcher from First Federal Saving. Dick, good morning. How are we today?
Good morning, John.
Happy Friday, huh?
Happy Friday to you, and happy Friday for the weekend.
Absolutely.
We got a great weekend coming up.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have some downtown activities tonight.
The Santa Parade, correct?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Santa's going down. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Temperatures for the weekend look to be in the 40s, maybe even hitting 50s. Pelosi says we must act. Speaker authorized committee to draft articles of impeachment versus the president. That's big news.
That's big news, and it's been a process in terms of what exactly is going on. And you never know what's happening behind closed doors, of course. But it feels like since day one in office, we've been hearing impeachment.
I feel kind of sorry, not really sorry, but for the big networks that carry this, they can't get any advertising in.
Yeah.
The politicians talk constantly.
24/7, 365. It's been impeachment.
Okay, we got a little trivia this morning in reference to the stock market. How many stock make up the Dow index? Is it 20, 25, or 30? We're going to talk about the stock market and other things in a little bit. In the meantime, Tanner, thanks for filling in the last weekend. Give me time to spend with kids and grandkids, dogs and cats.
Absolutely, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime you need me. So we are back on Facebook this week. Had some technical difficulties last week, but we're rolling on Facebook today. So got some local sports here to cover. A lot of basketball going on. Rochester boys basketball team hosts Winnemac tonight. WI's got the call.
I'll be on the call as well.
You're going to be on the call.
I'll be out there. Yeah.
Making your debut?
Making my debut for Rochester boys basketball.
All right. What time's pregame start?
7 o'clock. Well, 7 o'clock-ish. It kind of hinges on the JV.
Okay. Perfect. And then Tippecanoe Valley is at Knox tonight. Argus is at North Judson. And Caston is at Carroll. So a lot of road games tonight for the local teams. Had some girls basketball results from last night. Argus lost to Morgan Township by a score of 62-40. Winnemac lost to Rensselaer by a score of 29-27. And Tippecanoe Valley got a win against Plymouth 66-61 in overtime. Rochester girls host Southwood tomorrow night. They're coming off a win against Culver earlier this week.
Sure.
Some local college sports. Had some college football wrap up this past weekend. Notre Dame beat Stanford 45-24, finishing their season with a record of 10-2. Now they gotta wait to see what bowl game they're gonna go to. I've seen a lot of predictions have them in the Camping World Bowl against a team like Texas or somebody like that.
I'm sure they'll be playing in warmer weather than they would normally be in South Bend.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. I think 10-2. You deserve to be somewhere warm.
They don't necessarily send you north.
No.
When you're already that far up.
And then the Old Oaken Bucket game was over the weekend. IU beat Purdue 44-41 in double overtime.
Did you have to bring that up?
I would have heard about it if I didn't.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But, yeah.
That was a great game. They'll talk about this for the next 50 years.
Yeah, that was a pretty historic game for the Old Oaken Bucket series. It was only the second time they've had an overtime game. The other one was back in 2010. So, yeah. So Purdue ends their season 4-8, IU 8-4. Now they wait to see what bowl destination they're going to be headed to. Some college basketball. Purdue came on the right side of this one. They beat the defending champion Virginia on Wednesday night by a score of 69-40 to improve their record to 5-3. They start Big Ten play on Sunday when they host Northwestern in Mackey Arena at 5 o'clock. Northwestern is 4-3. And Indiana basketball remained undefeated as they beat Florida State on Tuesday 80-64. They travel to Wisconsin tomorrow, their first road game of the year. So
well, that's a tough road game.
The Kohl Center is a tough place to play. Yeah. It'll be an interesting environment though, because I gotta think a lot of their big time fans probably will be in Indianapolis for the football game against Ohio State tomorrow night.
That's a good point.
So
yeah, we might have a sea of red, but the crimson instead of the Wisconsin red.
Yeah, so it could be interesting. And then Notre Dame basketball fell to 6-2. They lost at Maryland on Wednesday, 72-51. They host Boston College tomorrow to start conference play. Boston College is 4-5. And in the NFL, the Bears got a win last night over the Cowboys, 31-24. The Bears are now 7-6. Kind of hard to believe they have a winning record with how the season has gone, but here they are. And the Colts, who have a record of 6-6, they hosted the Titans this past week and lost 31-17 to fall to 6-6, I should say. They traveled to Tampa Bay on Sunday, who's 5-7. Must win for the Colts if they want to stay alive, I think, in the wild card.
I think a lot of these are going to be must wins from here on out. And I saw some news about Vinatieri as well. I don't know if you had anything on that.
I saw they signed a new kicker from San Francisco, and Vinatieri's knee's banged up, so it looks like he probably won't play.
Yeah, and I saw somewhere he might be done for the season based on how serious this knee
might be a good thing for the Colts, to be honest.
Those knees are kind of important for kickers.
Yeah, especially when they're 46 years old.
Yeah.
So. Got some tidbits here this morning. On this day in 1923, the first U.S. presidential address to be broadcast on the radio took place. The address was given by Calvin Coolidge. And on this day in 1961, Syracuse halfback Ernie Davis became the first African American to win the Heisman Trophy. They actually made a movie about that a couple of years ago. I don't remember what it's titled now, though, now that I said that. And today is National Bartender Appreciation Day. It's National Miners Day, Pawnbrokers Day, St. Nicholas Day, which that one kind of made me scratch my head because shouldn't that be close to Christmas? And Put On Your Shoes Day.
All right, I got one right.
Oh, there you go. One's better than none.
Okay, so we're talking about bartenders, miners, pawnbrokers,
Santa Claus and
Santa
shoes.
Those are miners, by the way, as in pickaxes.
Yes,
not minors as in underage
correct.
drinkers.
Thank you.
We should clarify that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't go bartender to minors.
You're probably right. Good catch there. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah.
Okay, Rochester Downtown Partnership's third annual holiday stroll is tonight as Santa Claus is coming to town at 6 o'clock. Breakfast with Santa is tomorrow from 8:30 to 10:30 at Giretti's. Tickets available there. You can take your little one there and have a nice breakfast, and Santa will be there. Public service to mark the anniversary of Pearl Harbor is at 11 a.m. tomorrow at the VFW Post 1343. I remember Pearl Harbor very distinctly. I was 6 years old, and I remember my parents reacting to the radio that President Roosevelt mentioned about the bombing and declaring war. Fulton County Choral Club will have their Christmas program on December 15th at 2:30 at Grace United Methodist Church. It is a free will donation, and all collection go towards the United Ministry Fund of Fulton County. Salvation Army is seeking bell ringers again this year, and the bell ringing runs through December 21st. Locations will be at Kroger's, Walmart, Save-A-Lot, and Smith Farm stores. Hours are 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. Let's give some flowers to Beacon Credit Union. They raised money throughout their branches and raised $41,000 for the Riley Children's Foundation. Flowers are also to Rochester Fire Department for the decorations around town. They help put those up. And some flowers to the Salvation Army bell ringers. That's especially if you get Walmart. That's outside work.
Mm-hmm.
So you wear your long underwear and stay warm. Kroger's is inside. Also, some flowers to the Fulton County Foundation. At Giving Tuesday, this Tuesday, they raised $101,000. Compliments to Bryan, Jay, Jessica, Shannon, and Allison. They do a great job down there. Okay, the Dow was up 28 yesterday, closed at 27,677. Been pretty flat for the last few months. Dictionary.com chose existential as the word of the year. Is that right, Tanner?
Sounds right. I mean, it's a
Okay.
tough word to pronounce.
Okay. The presidential candidates are using that now, so not sure what the definition is.
I don't know if I've used that word once this year, so I'm falling behind.
Okay. United CEO Oscar Menez is stepping down, and President Scott Kirby is taking over. Now, here's an interesting change. Macy's, the department store president, Hal Lawton, is stepping down to become CEO of Tractor Supply. Now, how different can you be from Macy's to Tractor Supply? What do you think the chances of that being successful? Dollar General is opening 1,000 stores in 2020. Now, I don't know whether you've noticed, John, but there could be a French fry shortage.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because
See, that I have helped with.
potato production is anticipated to be down 6% this year in the U.S., primarily because of the weather and flooding and all those things. So the price of French fries, of course, will go up.
Oh, no. You can raise my gas taxes, but don't mess with my French fries.
Supply and demand. Interest rates, we raised our interest rates a slight 1/8% this week on mortgages, and but otherwise they were pretty flat. Okay, First Federal, come in and see us today. We are open until 5 o'clock, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. We are wearing jeans today with all proceeds going to the United Ministries Chinese Christmas basket program. You can always bank with us online and with our mobile apps, which is free to download. Our ATM is open 24/7, as well as if you need some cash. We offer many different mortgage products: USDA, FHA, conventional loans, one-step construction loans, premier first-time home buyer loans, and more. Our loan originators, Ben Dalton and John Schaefer here in Rochester, can provide you with more details. We offer simply free checking accounts and simply free business checking accounts. When you open a new checking account, you get a free gift. We're offering knives now, is that time?
You have a choice between a squish knife set or a DeWalt multi-tool set. So
Okay.
you have either or.
You use that, Bryan, one of those?
Yeah, those would be very handy.
Okay. We'll open an account, we'll give you that. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram at First Federal Banking, and on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay, where borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are a member of FDIC and an equal housing lender, and our NMLS number is 399927. Okay, we're legal. We have guests Mark Blubaugh and Bryan Bell here. Thank you for coming in this bright morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Glad to have you here. These gentlemen are with First Federal, of course, the Financial Services Department. And Bryan wants to tell us about a new product that's being offered. Bryan?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Just wanted to we're rolling out a new service that the Financial Service Department is going to be able to offer our wonderful communities that we service. It's Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage plans, prescription drug plans. And the biggest thing here is, as we're campaigning, is just let's sit down and talk. So to navigate the seas of Medicare, as you may, if you're entering into that world or just had family members that entered that world, it's very confusing. So we're very excited with my over 10 years of experience with Social Security and Medicare that we're going to be able to sit down and talk to people about those special, unique situations in their lives.
Okay, you're talking about opening the door. That means you're turning 65.
Yep, if you're turning 65, you need to make a decision. If you're still working, are you going to stay on your group health plan? Are you going to roll over and get into Medicare and get a supplement or an Advantage plan? Maybe you're over 65 and you had your plan and the premiums went up, or you didn't like the coverage from the previous year, then you can have an opportunity to shop that as well and look at different plans for yourself.
Okay, Mark, you've been around a long time.
Thanks for that compliment.
That's right. Well, it beats the opposite.
That's true.
Right. All right, I'm sure you're familiar with this product. Tell us some of the advantages. Why should we look at this?
Yeah, it's definitely a need for everyone, and baby boomers, myself included, that age 65 plus. That's a service that we wanted to offer our customers for quite some time, and it's been on the drawing board. We were looking for the perfect person to jump in and service that area, and I think we have found that with Mr. Bryan
The
Bell.
perfect person?
Well, we'll just see about
Well,
perfection.
We
But
probably need to work on
we'll
it.
give him a 9 out of 10 so
Yeah.
far. But Bryan, as he mentioned, a lot of experience, very knowledgeable. We brought Bryan along almost 2 years now, and Bryan main department is to work with Wendy and I in the financial services, and that's mainly wealth management, retirement planning. Bryan is fully licensed in those areas also. This is just a need that customers have asked us about for years, and we just, like I said, we're looking for the right opportunity, timing to bring that on board. So very, very excited about being able to offer another service to the community. We do a great job in mortgage lending, traditional banking, commercial loans, online banking. I think we've got the whole package. This is just another service that we would like to get out there and offer to our valued customers.
Okay, Mark Blubaugh, you've been in the business a very long time and have had a lot of experience. The end of the year is coming. So what opportunities do you offer to some people that might be retiring? They might want to change their IRAs or...
Yeah, definitely investment planning end of the year. There's different tax strategies you may want to look at as far as taking gains or hopefully not too many losses, but you can offset some of that. Of course, the biggie is do you want to try to produce a tax deduction of some sort by funding an IRA or maybe upping your 401k, what you contribute to that can help you tax-wise. Then it's never too early to start planning for next year, 2020. Same idea, make a commitment to yourself, your family to try to boost your retirement planning by increasing your contributions, whether it be 401k, IRAs. Those are the type of things that Bryan and I can sit down and help you with as far as decisions, what would be best, and then, of course, then how to properly invest that based on your needs and desires.
Okay, so this would, there would be a product that you would have available for somebody that's in that category of retirement coming up?
Yes, definitely. Folks that are nearing retirement are getting real close to it a lot of times. Hopefully, over the years, you've been maybe a little bit aggressive by being in the market through your 401k or your IRA plans. And when it's retirement time or close to it, I like to sit down with the customer and say, okay, we've had actually great markets for quite a few years. So nice run. Let's take a look at possibly carving out some of those dollars and not focusing 100% on growth, but maybe let's turn this into a lifetime income. So there's different vehicles that we can show you that will pay you monthly. And that's the fun part. You've worked hard, you've accumulated, you've got Social Security coming in, Bryan's going to take care of you with the Medicare and the Med Sup. Let's look about how do we produce monthly income from these IRAs or 401ks. There's various ways of doing that, and it's whatever the comfort zone is for that particular customer, that product that we would show them.
Okay, Bryan Bell, welcome this morning. Besides the supplement, Medicare supplement product, what other services do you offer?
Yeah, sure. So we can help people consolidate their 401ks, 403bs. So throughout your work life, you may have worked for different employers. So you may have some 401ks or 403bs or any type of employer-sponsored plan sprinkled throughout there. We can help you consolidate those and actually get them into an IRA. And as Mark was describing, we can utilize those strategies however your needs meet are met. So basically, you want to make sure when you roll all your you retire, you want to get your IRAs in one place because you at 70 and a half, you got to take that required minimum distribution. And
Oh, wait a minute, tell us about that. 17 and a half?
70 and a half, yes. So
Okay.
on traditional money, Uncle Sam says it's time for you to pay taxes. So they
No choice.
Yeah, no choice. So you got to take a required minimum distribution out, and it's just you really want to keep track of that because the penalty on that is if you don't take out the right amount of money, it's a 50% penalty. So on the money that you should have taken out. So that's pretty hefty. So we're able to help you track that and monitor that. Mark and I, and make sure you're in line with that. So it's really good to get your IRAs all in one place, and make sure the investments are meeting your goals for your retirement years.
Okay, Mark, what are some of the other products that you offer?
Yeah, other than just retirement planning, we do a lot of 529s. We help folks, whether it be parents, grandparents, and kids themselves, open up 529, which is
Okay, tell us about the details of 529.
yeah, the advantage for 529 is that you can make a contribution. It's meant for college, so the government, state and federal, are kind of behind it in that if you, while you earn in that 529, let's say you start with a 2-year-old, so 16 years later we're looking at, college, as we know, is very pricey. That 529, if those funds that you contributed over the years are used for college, you pay absolutely no income tax on those earnings that you've had in that 16-year period. So it's just a great opportunity for grandparents, parents to sock away some dollars for college planning.
I think the maximum per year is 15,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's various ways of actually putting quite a bit more money in there. Yeah, it's like I think it's pushing 300,000 total, but you have to structure it like Dick said, the 15,000. There is actually a way to put it all in at once, and you count that out over a 4 or 5 year period. So there are different vehicles. Most people shoot for, in the state of Indiana, which is great for us Hoosiers, state of Indiana will give you a 20% tax credit on what you put in. So that, and there again, I'll repeat, credit, not deduction.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. And most people's the goal is 5,000 because the maximum credit would be 20% of that, so $1,000. So a lot of people take advantage of that. And keep in mind, with the 529, the parents can put the 5,000 in, but grandma and grandpa can also, and they both would get that tax credit. So it's just a great opportunity, and very proud of the state of Indiana to step up and help with that expense.
Finally, state of Indiana.
I know. I lived here my whole life, and I have not had the opportunity to say that a whole lot of times.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the 529 is a great program, and people out there that want more information, Mark's in our Rochester office today as well. Bryan, you're here all day?
Yep, I'm here in Rochester and head into Winnemac for the afternoon.
Okay, so stop in and you can get more of the details as they become available. Okay, now we've had a bull market here for 10 years. What's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, you are asking Bryan that question. Right?
I'm looking right at you.
A wise guy told me that the market will go up and it will go down.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
One way or another.
LPL, I'm going to actually talk to Tanner today. He's going to release LPL's outlook for 2020.
Oh yeah.
So they go into a great talk, about 20-minute talk about their expectations with their analysts and everything. But at the end of the day, the market's going to go up and it's going to go down.
Okay. All right. Now, people out there don't know what LPL is. Tell us about that.
Yeah, LPL Financials, our broker dealer, who we clear through. So Mark and I, obviously, employees of First Federal, and then when we have to get to the investment world, you need a broker dealer. So LPL Financials, broker dealer that we use. They're one of the largest independent broker dealers in the States, so we enjoy working with them. They give us unlimited access to basically customize what we can do for the customer. We don't have to live inside of a box. We can just do what the customer needs and wants and go out and get that for them. So that's who LPL provides that.
Now, your business, Mark, is highly regulated like the banking business.
Yes, definitely it is, and rightfully so.
Yes, that's right.
But, yeah, there's a lot of education involved, continuing education in what Bryan and I do, and constant changes, which is what I enjoy about the industry with the stock market, bond markets. There's just, there's volatility, and there's different ways of managing it. Dick had mentioned, yeah, markets had a great run. I personally think, the economy is great. The U.S. is kind of the only game in town, I think, right now. So I think there's opportunity. There's ways of hedging that. In other words, if you feel the market has made such a big run, oh, I don't want to get in now. Sit down and talk to Bryan and I. There's other ways of approaching it or getting into various investments.
As an example would be what?
Well, we do an awful lot of, and this goes back to, okay, you're 65, 70, you've had some growth, as you mentioned, the 10-year run we've had. Let's take some of those profits, and then a lot of times we'll look at different annuity vehicles because they offer some guarantees that the stock market or the mutual fund does not offer. And like I said, at retirement age, I really can't stomach another 08, 09 when the market did take a heck of a dip. So there's ways of participating in the S&P 500, the stock market, but yet still has a little bit of safety net, and that's usually incorporating some sort of annuity vehicle. So we do it.
Well, I know there's a lot of concern about, well, the market's been so red hot for 10 years. It's up this year, what, 25%? And something's going to happen. What should I do?
Yeah, you should sit down with Bryan and I or your financial advisor, and there again, let's look at what are you trying to do? What do you want to do? How much risk are you willing to take? Are these long-term dollars that you are investing? Is this wealth transfer? Is this, no, I need an income from it? Those are the type of questions we ask you, and listen to what you say and put together the right package. So it's a team effort, and by working with a professional like Bryan and I, we definitely can help you meet those stated goals.
Yeah, and sitting down is no obligation. Just come in and have a talk. It's an education moment for both of us, so we can sit down and help you with your needs for sure.
Okay, Bryan Bell, tell us a little wrap up on the Medicare supplement. There's different programs available, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just really excited to be able to do this, and we've actually contracted with AARP, Mutual of Omaha, Aetna, Cigna, and Assured Life, and we remain independent in that scope as well, so we can get what the customer needs. But yeah, just come in if you have you're turning 65, you have a family, friend member turning 65, or you want to shop your rate. Come in and sit down. We can go over all the options with you. Make sure you're prepared for what your medications are going to cost next year. We can enter that all in the beautiful software we have to make sure people are in line and have the coverage that they can rely on for next year.
Bryan Bell, Mark Blubaugh, thanks for stopping in this morning.
Now,
Bryan, somebody out there wants more information. How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can just call First Federal, call 574-223-2128, and they'll be able to direct us to our direct lines, or you can reach us. Really, we visit each branch throughout the week, so really calling in 223-2128, you can call in and they'll get you to us and direct you right to us. If they need to transfer us and we're not in that branch that day, is the best way, I believe, would be calling in. If you stop by, we may be at another branch, so you may want to plan an appointment ahead of time.
Thank you, gentlemen, for stopping by this morning.
Nick, thank you and First Federal for letting us bring this opportunity to our customers.
It's a great service that they're offering. Thank you. Well, our trivia this morning is how many stocks are in the Dow Index? Is it 20, 25, or 30? Do you know that one?
I'm going to play the middle ground and say 25.
I think I know that
but
one.
I think I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Not the first time I've heard this today, won't be the last.
Right. There are 30 stocks in the Dow. And if you want to know which one they are, Google it and you can get a list there. And Another little trivia I found, but I thought was interesting. What is the average return on stocks since 1929? Average return over those years. You got a guess, Brian?
9%.
We don't get three choices, come on.
No.
I'm a Price is Right hand and say 10%.
11%.
Shoot, I should have gone last.
Oh, you guys are pretty good. It's 10%.
Yeah, right, hey.
Good job, team.
10% return since 29. Now I assume that's of course things are on the bottom at that time. So only one way to go. So, okay, let's close with these words of Milton Berle, American comedian. If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Thank you, John.